Hey YouTubers, this is my first YouTube video and I'm purposefully keeping it kind of in the dark, experimenting with the whole YouTube scenario. But there's something I wanted to talk about today that a lot of larger women have been discussing, young women, middle-aged women, women of all ages who happen to be plus size or label themselves big beautiful women. And that is the idea of why should we feel ashamed for just being larger women? And if we wanted to simply look at economics, the media, the mass marketing that's out there makes a lot more money off of women if they think that they're ashamed of their bodies, regardless of their size. So they make just as much money off young women who are starving themselves and shelling out the big bucks for fashions as they do for us larger women who, some of us, who are continually trying to lose weight. And they play a lot upon the hopes and fears of people and the concerns about their weight. The other thing is that they assume that a lot of larger women are ignorant about nutrition and what these fad diets can do, and unfortunately, the education out there outweighs the pressure there is to be thin. So regardless of actually knowing what's nutritionally sound and what's nutritionally balanced for our bodies, sensible diet, sensible exercise, and lifestyle, people go out there and they try these fad diets or try to starve themselves and end up in the yo-yo dieting pattern, or they try to capitalize on fad diets to drop a lot of weight, and then they end up gaining it back the same amount or more each time, which is essentially the yo-yo principle, just over a longer span of time, could be years. I know I'm talking pretty quickly at you, but these are just some thoughts of mine. I'm in no way certified to say these things, but I grew up in a household with a certified nutritionist, and I also grew up very active playing sports. And one of the things that I really rally against and fight against are a lot of the stereotypes that are pushed upon larger people as if we are completely sedentary. Also, one of the things that I advocate against is the use of BMI, body mass index, to solely be the one sole thing that your health is quantified upon, because with obesity or whether you're plainly overweight, they always try to blame things on comorbidity. That means if you're obese or you're overweight, you automatically have certain other health threats that happen to you. You automatically have high blood pressure, you automatically have messed up blood sugar levels, or insulinemia, or your cholesterol is through the roof. Those things and those claims are not true. And recent studies, or at least they're not 100% true, nothing is 100% true, but there are recent studies that came out that said over 1/3 of obese people and almost half of overweight people can have a normative lifestyle. That means there's no comorbidity. We're just large people, we're just fat or obese people, and aside from our obesity, which can be cosmetic, and some joint issues later on in life, we can live healthy, happy, active lifestyles and still be larger people. So the validity of some of the things that people have been saying for years, that obesity and necessarily overweight is a death sentence, is just not 100% true. There are still a significant number of people who are obese or overweight who are malnourished. They're getting too many calories, but from not enough of the important food groups, and so they are very heavy, and yet they are malnourished. And sometimes that's out of ignorance, sometimes that's just out of lifestyle, but I can tell you that there are skinny people out there whose diets are just as poor and just as nutrient deficient as some of the larger obese people out there or overweight people out there. And these are just things from casual observation, living your own life, that you guys can connect the dots and see that not every larger person is necessarily living an unhealthy lifestyle, and not every skinny person, thin person, is living a healthy lifestyle. But oftentimes in the media, extremely thin people, morbidly underweight people, let's apply that word morbidly to people who are suffering from anorexia or anorexia nervosa, which is an addictive and degenerative condition. I have several friends, and as a matter of fact, my husband was one of the first male anorexics to be documented. That was a non-sports related, more of a psychologically related anorexic case. And if we actually called them morbidly thin, do you think that anorexia would be given some more attention instead of the cute little name of Anna, pro anorexia? And you know what? I am for everyone making their own choices about their own bodies. The minute people start to tell you what to do with your body, sit up, be aware, and take notice, because no one should be telling you what to do with your body. It's your body. It is your body. You have the right to be as thin or as fat as you want to be, or as average, or as muscular, or as lean. That is a choice. We should value that choice. Some people don't have a choice. Some people legitimately do have hormonal conditions or metabolism conditions that keep them naturally extremely thin or naturally very, very large. But we have this freedom to do as we please with our bodies, at least for now. Women may be losing some of the freedoms of their bodies. But we won't go there today. And the last thing I wanted to address today, hopefully under my 8 minutes, will be sex life. A lot of times people assume that fatter people, fatter women, fatter men, obese women and obese men cannot have fulfilling sexual relations or a fulfilling sex life. That's simply not true either. A lot of times larger people have been so shamed about their bodies, they're very hesitant to share their bodies with other people. But I can tell you there's lots of sites out there. If you're a larger person and you're limiting yourself from romantic relationships, physical and sexual relationships because you fear what other people will think of your body, I can tell you there are people out there who will love you, respect you, cherish you, and satisfy you just the way you are. End rant.